fun one today. Small video today. So we're gonna be installing my Roger Clark Motorsport oil pump on the STI. So once you guys come and check it out with me real quick. Hopefully we'll get this thing on the road soon, but still got a few more projects I gotta do. A couple toys we gotta install, more parts, but for now we'll get this oil pump installed, and that's really gonna move things along. I can put the timing belt on, actually all the timing components, the cover. I gotta do a couple things on the TGVs, get a tune, and this thing will be on the road soon. But for now, let's get this pump installed. I debated for a long time on which pump I was gonna run in this thing. I sat and thought about getting an 11mm because that's usually what everybody upgrades to. But after really thinking about it, it kind of would have been a waste of money with this thing because the bearings are stock clearances. I'm not using any extra oiling at all on it. So as I've mentioned in one of my videos way back, you want to use an oil pump that meets your oil demands, and bumping up on an oil pump really isn't needed, and it's really not good for these things because the relief valve will stay open for too long and it'll recirculate the oil back to where it takes it in from the pan, and it'll recirculate and aerate, overheat it. So this is a Roger Clark Motorsport 10mm oil pump. This is an OEM Subaru pump, you know, it's not an aftermarket or anything. And what Roger Clark does, they give it an extra cleaning. The common issue of the bolts backing out here and causing oil pressure losses, they fix that. They tighten them and Loctite them, and then they blueprint it. But the other biggest thing that they do is the pressure relief valve. They replace it with a billet unit, and it's nitride coated and super clean, so it doesn't change the pressure or anything of the pump, but it just makes it a lot more reliable. And that's really what I'm going for with this build. Not really going for crazy power, like 380 400 wheel, decent daily power, especially on a 2.5. The other thing I forgot to mention about this pump is that they also pre-oil it, so when you fire it up, it's not dry, which is nice peace of mind. You guys saw the last video. I already fixed the spot in the crank here. That was all frigged up, so that's all ready to go. It's really nice because Roger Clark Motorsports provide brand new parts for this thing, brand new crank seal, brand new O-ring, all the bolts, everything. That's all in. Biggest thing with these, you want them to sit flush. You don't want them to sit below or above. You want them to sit flush with this lip right here. Next thing we're gonna do, install a little O-ring. All right, that's ready to go. Next thing is sealant, Fuji 3-bond. This is what they use to assemble all the motors and that stuff together. This is the OEM stuff, and it's really good. You can either use this or high temp RTP black silicone. That stuff also works great. You don't want to overdo it on the pump. You just want a little bit to seal it off, because if you go too much, you're going to get RTV inside the pump, circulate through your bearings, and then you're back to square one rebuilding your motor. All right, oil pump is in, and as you can see, just have a nice thin line of the sealant coming out of the edge, and that's what you want, is a very thin line, because that same line is on the inside. So alright guys, that's gonna end today's video. I'll have some more updates on this thing soon as more parts arrive. As you can see, I got a pile of parts over here that I gotta go through to get this thing together, so I'll have little snippets of this thing one by one, and I will keep you guys posted. And with that, a little bit of drift footage to end the video from the race car. Peace. I'm deaf, but that's fine.